What is going on, everybody? It is your boy, your man's Toxic Camel 331. I'm back at it with another video, and today we are doing yet another Toxic Tier List ranking. Oh yeah. And today we are going to be ranking all the Spider-Man and Sony spin-off Spider-Man movies from in a tier list fashion. And if you guys are wondering, like, why I'm not doing Elimination Chamber 2024 matches, they did not have a tier list of all the matches, so if there is one, like, I'll constantly check and maybe do it, like, either either tomorrow or Tuesday, we'll see, but, we're gonna do this today because, you know, I've finally watched Madam Web on Tuesday, so, but before we get to actual beginning of the video itself, guys, don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel, because number one, it's absolutely free, number two, we're on the road to 700 subscribers, just 95 away now, really help out your boy if you did subscribe, and also don't forget to like the video as well, because I know that you do like my toxic tier list rankings, and it'll help with YouTube algorithm recommend the video more, and it'll let some more people know about our channel, and they can join that toxic thing. And also, do feel free to comment your rankings down below. But before we get into actual ranking itself, here are the tiers. We have best of the best, which means they're like God tier. They're amazing, and there's nothing wrong with them whatsoever. Great means they're close to best of the best, but there's like some stuff that are like flaws that kind of hold it back from getting to the top tier. Toxic goodness means it's good, but not great or amazing though, you know. Okay means they were just like okay, they're not that bad. And toxic trash means dumpster fire, the worst. And I rearranged the tier list so it's chronological order when they each came out, not in like timeline form. I'm not that crazy. But starting off things, we have Spider-Man from 2002 with Tobey Maguire, and this is easily best of the best for me. This kicked off the whole, and like this kind of was the starting point for Marvel to kick it right into gear to make us have some amazing comic book movies. Because Marvel previously had some good ones like X-Men and Blade, but they never had like an amazing Marvel movie. And when this came out, that changed everything, and this really started to kick Marvel into gear with their superhero parts. The DC already did it with like Batman and Superman, but Marvel got kicked into gear with Spider-Man, and everything in here I think is flawless. Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin, amazing villain. James Franco as Harry Osborn does good. And also Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man is probably, a whole lot of people argue between all three Spider-Men, but he's probably my favorite. I think he just is totally born for this role. And I would just like to point out, all three Spider-Man actors I think are good. That's what I want to point out. But yeah, I have a lot of nostalgia for this, and just a flawless movie, and I love Spider-Man from 2002. Then we have Spider-Man 2, which arguably is even better. I'd have to think about it, but these two are like great stuff. This one, I think I prefer the first film's villain more, but I think I still love Doc Ock as the villain. Alfred Molina plays him flawlessly. That whole entire Spider-Man subplot where he's losing his powers, I think, is interesting to plop right into the movie. Has an interesting other subplot too with obviously spoiler. No, dude, I wanna. If you haven't seen the Spider-Man movies, why are you clicking on this video then? I'll do spoilers. But yeah, the subplot with Harry being angry because Spider-Man supposedly killed his father, so he's on the hunt to find out who Spider-Man is, and when he eventually finds out it's Peter, that's interesting and could have led to some great stuff down the road, but we'll talk about that in a second. And yeah, Spider-Man 2, best of the best. Then we have Spider-Man 3. When I was a kid, well, I'm teenager now, so yeah, I'm technically still a kid, but whatever. Spider-Man 3 used to be my favorite when I was a lot younger, and kinda when I grew up a little bit older, I still like it, but it's not my favorite out of the three. We'll put it in toxic goodness. This originally was supposed to be just Sandman as the villain, but Sony saw the popularity of the Venoms in the symbiote suit and said, oh, why not plop this right into the movie? And there's some parts where it does connect pretty well, but there's some parts that, like, it goes, yeesh, like, why'd you have to plop it right into there? And then you also got the Little Goblin Jr. Plot with Harry becoming the new Green Goblin, which I do like. I think it's definitely pulled off better than another movie we're going to talk about. And Harry's sacrifice at the end is really sad and heartbreaking for both Peter and MJ. I think this one goes into the good tier just because, and why it doesn't go anywhere higher is because MJ in here, I think, is the most annoying she's ever been. In the first two, she's, like, tolerable. You can forgive the movie for it. But this one, she's, like, the most annoying. She just screams it every single time. It's, come on, like, that's so annoying. Of course, there's a lot of goofy moments in here that have become Spider-Man memes or memes nowadays, where everyone makes fun of and kind of embraces it with the Tobey Maguire, the Bully Maguire, dance, and I'm trying to think of any other stuff. I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye, and yeah, and the only other negative I can think of really is I don't really care for Topher Grace as Venom. He's a good actor, but in here, he's not the character. It's just, I don't like what they did with his character. And then Sandman's alright. Thomas Hayden Church does act good as him. It's just that how they use him is kind of a mixed bag. But yeah, he's decent in here. I like him. Alright. Now, after the Tobey stuff and Spider-Man 4 got canceled for 2011, I think, right? That's when they canceled it or whatever. They decided to reboot the franchise and give us Andrew Garfield as the Amazing Spider-Man. And the Amazing Spider-Man dropped in 2012. I forgot which month, but Amazing Spider-Man I used to love. That used to be my favorite out of the all the Spider-Man movies because I really enjoy here's a hot take. I enjoy the origin stuff in this one more than the Peter one. I think Amazing Spider-Man 2 kind of goes like a little too far with the backstory and stuff, but in Amazing Spider-Man 1, I think they made it really intriguing, and I'm arguing where to put this. It's so tough. Would I say I like it more than... Yeah, it's one of these two categories. I don't know where to put it. You know what? Yeah, I'll put it there. Great tier. Why I was struggling so much to put it there is because Lizard as a villain is not the best villain, but then again, it's the first Spider-Man movie to a new franchise, so they start off with kind of not as big as Green Goblin or Doc Ock, you know? And they do good with the Lizard subplot, and also, The music throughout the film I think is phenomenal. Both Amazing Spider-Man movies I think have the best scores too. They're tied with the Tobey Maguire main theme from the Spider-Man trilogy. And I'm trying to think of it. And also Mark Webb's direction as director. He's amazing. And I just said direction as director. I know. And also the chemistry between Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield's phenomenal in here. And it gets even better in a movie we're about to talk about. So Amazing Spider-Man 1 goes into the great tier for me. I really think it's underrated and slept on. So it goes there. Amazing Spider-Man 2. Amazing Spider-Man 2, I've warmed up on a lot, but I'm still putting it in the good tier. This is another kind of example with Spider-Man 3, ironically, right next to it, where where the director wanted to do one thing, and Sony said, oh, wait, let's do another thing, which they do a lot. And basically, Mark Webb wanted to make a kind of romance movie with Gwen and Peter. Then Sony said, no, wait, we should try to set up a Sinister Six movie. So this movie kind of gets jumbled a lot with the villains and stuff, and it's trying to set up the Sinister Six movie, but look at where we are now. That never happened and it got canceled. I enjoy Jamie Foxx's Electro in here. Most people give him crap, but I do like this version of Electro, even though it is a very repetitive plot where he's basically, oh, I used to be your friend, now I'm your enemy, so because you overshadow me and stuff. Something like that. The Green Goblin stuff I'm mixed on. There's some aspects that I think are interesting, but Spider-Man 3 does the Goblin Jr. plot a lot better. And as for Rhino, yeah, we don't talk about that. I think that's one of the worst villains of all time, honestly, in Marvel movie history. It's just the acting's so bad during those scenes. I mean, it's kind of funny during some certain scenes, but Rhino and their yeesh. And yeah, I think it's good. And again, the growing chemistry between Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield throughout the franchise is done very well as well. So Amazing Spider-Man 2 goes into the good tier. Really good. Excuse me, I just burped. And then we have Spider-Man Homecoming. And Homecoming, I think, here's a hot take. I think this is my least favorite out of the Tom Holland trilogy, but I think it's still top tier stuff. So I'll put Spider-Man Homecoming in great. Vulture, one of the best MCU villains, played by Michael Keaton. Glad to see him play another comic book role. He does phenomenal in that role. Tom Holland, of course, does a good job as Spider-Man. All three Spider-Men do a good job playing live-action Spider-Man. He's an actual teenager in here, and you have, like, the classic teenager tropes in the school that I thought were pretty funny, and his friendship with Ned was pretty cool. And, it has a pretty cool twist. I'm not going to spoil that, but there's a cool twist in between. And the only negative that really holds it back from going to best of the best is just, it feels as if with the Iron Man mentoring subplot, it's trying to set up Iron Man Jr., like how they did with Green Goblin, and it's just, no, Spider-Man's his own thing. And luckily, at the end of Spider-Man Homecoming, he said, no, I'm gonna stick around it for a while. So that was good. So yeah, Spider-Man Homecoming goes into the great tier, but not near best of the best yet. Then we have Venom. Here's something that I rarely change my opinion on stuff. Venom, I used to not like much. There were aspects that I did enjoy, but overall, I thought it was a very mediocre comic book movie, and over time, yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I think I enjoy a movie a lot better than it. I'll just say that. But Venom, it's one of these two categories. I'm either going okay or good, because the villain of what was the villain's name? Rocket something? What was it called? No, not Rocket. Riot. That's what he was called. The villain of Riot kind of holds it down. The comedy aspect is there though with Eddie and Venom. So I'll put it good. I think it's good. I think it's really solid. So yeah, it's the bottom rung of the good, but it's still pretty good. No, I'll put it okay. I'll put it okay because it, as a comic book movie, it does the same exact tropes, but there are aspects again that I do enjoy. So Venom goes into okay, which it's not bad. It's just mixed bag for me. So personally, then we have Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. What just happened? Hello? Okay. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse not going okay. It is best of best. Animation in here, beautiful. All the Spider characters were excellent. I enjoyed every single one of them. Spider-Man Noir was my favorite. I can't wait for that. Was it Amazon Prime, right? That Amazon Prime Spider-Man Noir television series. That's gonna be really cool. Spider-Ham was hilarious. It really told a great story with Miles, and Miles is acted great by, I don't know what the voice acted, I should say. Voice acted great by, I forgot what the actor's name was, but the person that plays him, and Haley Steinfeld as Gwen Stacy's good. And yeah, Spider-Man Spider-Verse goes into best of the best. There's nothing bad I can say about it. And while I was younger, that was my favorite movie of all time. So it goes there. Morbius, wait, what? I went chronologically. Why'd it change? What the heck? And where did Spider-Man Across the... oh my gosh. Hang on a second. Photo library. Boom. Boom. There. Okay, why don't we just put that one there? We'll talk about Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse now. We don't have to directly go into chronological order. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, I think, is even better. There's only one thing holding it back, and it's like, it's a good way to end a part one on a jaw-dropping note, but we don't know when we're going to get Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, because we don't know, because the actors strike delayed everything and stuff from last year, so since it's over now, we don't know when it's coming out. It's probably coming out next year, so Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, left you wanting more from the world if you weren't wanting more originally for the Into the Spider-Verse movie. The animation's even more beautiful than the original one. Add some more spider people in here. Has a bunch of cameos and Easter eggs that are very well done and cool to see. And further develops the character of Miles, and also develops Gwen as well. They develop both of them very well throughout the movie, and it does end on a good note for Gwen's character, because her arc kind of ends, but not Miles, because, you know, I'm trying to think of any other stuff. Yeah. Is there anything else I could say about Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse? It goes best of the best for me. Then we got It's Morbin time, baby. And I will admit, okay, I'm one of the rare people, like the 0.01% of people that likes Morbius, okay? Morbius goes into okay. Why it doesn't go into good, even though I said I like it, is because I'm very aware that is a generic comic book movie. I don't know why. It's just, whenever I watch it, it kind of clicks for me, and it's short, so it doesn't bother me as much. Jared Leto does the best he does. He doesn't do, like, the best acting in his career or anything, but he does decent as Michael Morbius, and also, Matt Smith in here is pretty good during some certain scenes, and I just enjoy, as a big horror movie fan, I think that I enjoy the vampire aesthetic to it, where we have, like, kind of a action horror movie in the Marvel Universe, so that's my little bias there, I guess, and puts it in the okay tier. But, however, for the bad stuff, again, like I said before, generic comic book movie, I will admit that. And probably one of the worst comic book, like, end credit scenes ever. And it literally led to nothing. Not spoiling it here, but oh my goodness, those end credit scenes were garbage. Not as garbage as the Flash post credit scene. I thought that post credit scene was oof. But it's still like, what are we doing here? So, Morbius goes into okay, and I'll put Venom above it. Which, you know what's weird? I enjoyed Morbius more than Venom originally. Now I like Venom more than Morbius, but I still think Morbius I like. So, all right, next up we have Venom: Let There Be Carnage, which I think is even better than the first. I'll put it at the top of Toxic Goodness. The Carnage stuff I thought was really cool. Woody Harrelson does a fun job as him. It embraces more of the comedy with Venom and Eddie. Their dynamic is pretty funny throughout the movie, where they kind of separate and don't want to talk to each other. It's really funny. This also kind of does the thing I was talking about with Morbius earlier, where there's kind of a horror aesthetic to it. This one doesn't as much, but it does kind of have a horror aesthetic to it with Carnage, which I did enjoy. Trying to think of any other stuff. That's pretty much all I can say for Venom: Let There Be Carnage. I think it's good. I think that's the best. Spoiler alert for later in the video. But I think that's the best out of the Venom Sonyverse project. So, spin-offs, I should say. So, Venom: Let There Be Carnage goes there. Then we got Spider-Man: Far From Home, which I enjoy more than Homecoming. And Spider-Man: Far From Home will go into the great tier as well. It'll go top great tier. I think the one part that puts it at the top of great for me is Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio. You can tell he's having a blast as this character, and brings a lot of interesting aspects where he's a fake superhero. I thought that was pretty interesting. All the CGI in here is really good for, like, the monsters and stuff. I thought that was very well done. I enjoy the love plot where he's trying to fall in love with MJ. I thought that was really good. And, trying to think of anything else. I enjoy how it's outside of New York now, and we're in Europe. I thought that was really interesting. And there's a bunch of funny moments throughout here. So, Spider-Man: Far From Home goes into the great tier for me. Then we have Spider-Man: No Way Home. I mean, come on. Toxic Trap. You fell for it. Spider-Man No Way Home goes best of best. I mean, come on. Do I need to say anything? This basically brought everyone back into theaters during the pandemic. It brought everyone back. Spider-Man No Way Home is just fan service at its finest, and has a good story going into it where Peter's trying to heal all the villains, even though he doesn't quite know what they were like in their universes. And yeah, do I need to say anything else? Best of the best. Then finally, we have the newest release in this tier list here, Madam Web. Come here. Stop dragging. There you go. Yep. You guys thought I wasn't going to put one in Toxic Trash. Wrong. Madam Web it might be watchably awful, but I did not like this movie at all. There were aspects that I thought were interesting. The Terminator Spider-Man plot, I was going, okay, that's kind of interesting during some certain parts, but not a lot. The acting, only two performances in here I could say were pretty decent. I think that the guy that played Uncle Ben when he was younger was pretty interesting. I think he did a good job in that role. And also, I think the kind of nerdy Spider-Girl was pretty good. But otherwise, yeah, acting was pretty bad. It's kind of funny how bad the acting is, especially with Dakota Johnson's performance as Madam Web. It's kind of funny. Oh my gosh, I gotta talk about this. For Ezekiel Sims, like the bad guy of the movie, there's scenes where he has his back face to the camera, and you can kind of see from a side profile a little bit when he has his back turned that when he's talking, his mouth isn't even moving in his mouth isn't moving at the same time as his dialogue. CGI pretty iffy. There's one scene near the beginning of the movie. CGI was, oh my gosh. They add this whole entire lore with this spider people subplot that's just like, what? And it's tribe and stuff. I don't know, it's weird. There's one scene in here that made me angry, honestly. So, there's a scene, and also I forgot to mention, what's the actor's name? Oh my gosh, what was the actress's name? It just popped up in my head. The person that plays Jill from Scream 4, I forgot what her name was. Not Emma Roberts, no. Is it Emma? No. I forgot what her name was. It literally popped up in my head a second ago. But she's pretty decently acted in here too. But there's this thing where, and she plays, for those who did not know, she plays Peter Parker's mom, right? And she's pregnant in this movie, and they play a game. Oh, let's try to make a guess who the baby is gonna be. And we all know who it was gonna be, so... and they just poke fun at the game and just try to guess. And, yeah, it's kind of infuriating. And it's just like, it's just Sony going, oh, look what might happen in the future. And it's just, Madam Web is, yeah. Did I just go on a rant there? Let me know if I did. But with that being said, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this toxic tier list ranking. There might be another one this week. I don't know. We'll see if the Elimination Chamber 2024 matches tier list ranking comes out. But before we get to actual ending of the video itself, guys, don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel, because number one, it's absolutely free to cheer on the road to 700 subscribers. Just 95 away now. Really help out your boy if you did subscribe. But with that being said, guys, I'll see y'all next one, everybody. Peace.